Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast.
Hey, are we recording? Oh my god. Let me put some clothes on.
It's okay. You're not on video yet.
Oh, right. We're still working on that. I forgot.
Smooth.
Well, I'm Josh.
I'm Tyler.
Do they know that yet? I don't know.
I hope so.
Are our voices distinct enough? I'm curious.
I think they are. You sound, when I listen, you sound so
Seductive?
stern.
What?
And focused.
Sensual.
I sound like a enraged
Middle-aged.
middle-aged father.
Hey, did you do your homework?
Hey, it's time for the podcast. Well, today we wanted to talk about how we keep the work.
Oh, wait. What's this on the page? I see a video of you singing, Tyler, and it's such a good song. I didn't know you sang.
This is 100% what we're going to talk about today, are these antics that we do. Because first of all, it definitely wasn't me.
What?
Unless I have some sort of facial disease or deformities.
No, it's just a bad camera.
And my voice does not sound like that. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today, our little antics we do to keep things stress-free.
So, Antics. You mean to tell me that video of you singing was not real?
You should know you made it. I want
What?
everyone to know I am not that skilled with editing or anything on the computer electronics like this guy is.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, we know that.
Oh, yikes. That was mean. I'm so hurt.
So you may have seen the video of Tyler singing. You may have seen of a friend of ours, we'll call him C for Connor, of him giving a great endorsement. That was real.
That was real. The one with our boy Skeeter, which we'll get to in a moment. Skeeter was real as well. That was a real, undoctored, unaltered video promotion endorsement.
But you may have seen those and been like wondering, what the heck is this? What's going on here? As you may know or not know, Tyler and I are somewhat mischievous, somewhat trickster, especially Tyler. He used to be a magician. Can you perform your magic trick?
No, but I know a doctor that can.
He'll show you how he hides his stethoscope.
Listen, work is very stressful, so we try to
100%.
keep it. We keep it professional. We take care of our patients. We don't
quick
play around.
Quick disclaimer on that, because it can often get misconstrued. This is not joking around instead of working. Working is priority, and that's what I've stressed, and Tyler can tell you when he was under me. Professionalism and taking care of the patients is priority, 100%. Once your stuff's done, as long as you're on standby, whatever, and that's where a lot of this stems from. And what I mean by standby is always available in case your patients need you, not leaving the floor unnecessarily. Once you have that baseline established, yes, work is stressful, and keeping all that stress in will kill you 100%. You'll burn out in like a matter of weeks. So, we try and do things to keep the workplace entertaining.
Not just for us. We try to spread the love. I mean, I'm not going to sit there like a stiff all day and be angry and just stare at the wall until a patient calls me. I mean, if they're taken care of, they're fine. Antibiotics are running. They've got their pain meds. They don't need me. Some of them like to be left to do their own thing, too.
Mm-hmm. We do rounding. We check in on our patients,
Oh, yeah, for sure. Especially with the way meds are scheduled. We're rounding every half hour, so...
That being said, there are moments where, there's a bit of downtime, and maybe that's when the antics kind of pop up. We talked in the last episode about directives, things that the top level wants done. One thing that kind of came up maybe a year ago at this point or something was this directive of clocking out before a certain time, and
had to take your lunch within a certain time frame.
Yes.
Due to safety.
Correct. The provider, the nurse, tech, whoever, after a certain time, without a break, their mental capacities become limited, is the theory. Thus, you want you to take a lunch before a certain time. I kept forgetting to clock out before this time, and I don't really remember how this... Yeah, actually, I think I do. We have this camera that is used for wound photos at work, and it prints pretty easily. And we took this photo of Tyler, arms crossed. I wanted him to look as stern as he could. I mean, we talked earlier. He's like a middle-aged, stern dad. He yells at his kids, Bartholomew and Theodore, to to get in line.
I do not have children, by the way, which I hope most of you know that.
What about Pickle and Bugs?
It's a cat. Those are cat and rabbit, man. Those are furry babies.
So we took this photo of Tyler looking as stern as we possibly could, and I printed it, and then I made
I was
this
wearing a gait belt from physical therapy too, and I had goggles
on. Now this is pre-COVID, so wearing anything on your face was like.
Why are you doing that?
And I made this flyer, called it the Lunch Sheriff.
And that's in line. That's in line with other things. Got the safety sheriff.
100%. We wanted people to know. The message was, the Lunch Sheriff was going to be keeping an eye out for people who didn't clock out before the designated time. I don't really know what jurisdiction power we gave him, but 50 spankings or something.
Hey, we put some flyers near the punch-out boxes in the hospital, obviously, because it helps remind people. Puts them in the cafeteria. Lunch sheriff, obviously.
Well, one of us, I'm not going to name names, one of us may have gone a bit overboard with how many we printed and dispersed across the hospital beyond our floor.
But in all fairness, other floors were like, yeah, that's a great idea. You can put one up. It's not like we just, snuck on there and threw some up. Like, we had permission from charge nurses and stuff. Everyone thought it was a good idea. We were fully on board with this, trying to spread the message.
We had people coming up like, oh, is that this Lunch Sheriff?
It's true, and we had a label maker and put it on my badge too. So
right.
it was actually legit.
Well, we had it like hanging from the top of the nurse's station. And, we may have gone a bit overboard. We look at like viral marketing, things like that. That's what really takes off is like these weird, strange ideas.
And then after that, when we had to retire the Lunch Sheriff.
So yeah, we had to kind of take that down. It wasn't proved, so it is what it is. We took that down.
Josh, you posted a photo of me
in memorial.
You found a prom picture of me from 2013, and he took it. He printed that out. He made a picture of that, printed it out, said "Rest in peace, Lunch Sheriff, 2019 and 2019." And I wasn't there that day.
No, I don't think either of us were.
One of the housekeepers, a sweet older lady, came up. She goes, "Oh my God, Tyler's dead." We're having a memorial for me.
She put it on her cart. And
she did. She was all on board. She was the one taking flyers, putting them on her cart.
And I guess she ended
people like our humor in these policies, as in, if things at the top want to be promoted, you need to put some fun behind it, and not just be so stiff. I feel like you and I, we have a good management style. Not laissez-faire, but very democratic.
I mean, if we were actually put in a position, which I know scares people, of like management, I feel like we would have ways of like this, of actually implementing policies, because it's not fun to be told, oh, you have to clock out before this time.
I hated it. Out of spite, I didn't do it because I like taking my lunch later, because the earlier I took my lunch, coming back, I actually felt like shit. Like I literally was falling asleep. Which, to me, that's more unsafe for my patients than me taking my lunch at 11:30.
We talked about presentation in the last episode, and it's all about how you present this policy. If you be like, you have to do this, or otherwise you're in trouble. It goes beyond just our management, because I know our management is getting these messages from their management. Yes, and they have to do things a certain way. That's where this comes from. It sucks, but it is what it is. It's all, but people responded to it. They responded to how we
did. They were actually clocking out. I remember being told, yeah, ever since we did this, it's the first time people all clocked out when they were supposed to. So you're welcome, by the way. But, I think a lot of people like to bitch and moan about what we do just because it's you and I. I don't know if there's this connotation with us. But that's another story.
Whatever that is, that's, yeah. But it goes back to, like, professionalism, the perception of it. And we're very, very, very professional with our patients, and that's the priority. But stuff like this is just us kind of the outlet for that stress. No people were really harmed, except that housekeeper when she was distraught over your death. I don't actually think she
I think it's the way she said it.
I think she was playing along with us. Funny thing with that, she walked by after we had taken down all the flyers, she walked by her cart with one of our flyers on it. It passed a bunch of directors. The story goes that they were just kind of staring at the picture as she walked by.
They were coming out of a director's meeting. Listen, hey, implementation worked, and at the time, it was perfect. No one was hurt. It was a fun thing to do, which of course had been ruined, and here we are. So, at least we still have Skeeter.
Oh boy, Skeeter. Listen, I'll give Dylan a lot of credit. He puts up with a lot of stuff from us.
Dylan, by the way, for all of you who do not know,
he's handsome.
That's true. He's like our third musketeer. He's one of the CNAs on our floor. Good buddy of ours.
When we have call-ins, we'll get him on the show. He'll be one of our.
He's gonna be a regular. It's our bro.
Our squad on the call-ins. We'll have him.
He went away. He went back home to visit in Ohio, and he came back. And I don't know how we even came up with this, but it's telling everybody to come up and be like, yeah, Skeeter's back. They were like, well, who's Skeeter? I was like, that's Dylan.
That's our boy.
Why is he called Skeeter? I don't know what went through my mind, but I said, well, back in high school, apparently he was like this really good skeet shooter. I guess that's a big thing in Ohio. And he was really good, used to be expert marksman, He was training for the Olympics when right in his senior year, before the Olympic prelims, he tore his rotator cuff and he couldn't raise his arm anymore to shoot. Now, I'm actually convinced a lot of people bought this at first. So Dylan comes to work the next day. Hey, Skeeter, how's it going? Sup, Skeeter? I said, yeah, that's his new nickname. Then I was right when we write our names on the board. I was putting I would put my name and then Skeeter, and then patients just started to call him Skeeter.
Here's the problem. Like, I start to believe it. I was starting to believe that
our own rhetoric.
That he did this in high school.
we created a freaking Olympic persona of Dylan. Why would you not want this? In another life, he was a marksman.
It's only good things, though.
That's true.
He's a good skeet shooter. He's very handsome. It's all good rhetoric.
Now he's our freaking bike bro. We got him on the trails.
Yes, very much so.
We need to get some of our bike friends, have an episode on our mountain biking.
You're a pro. I see you doing backflips.
I'm not. I'm decent where I won't fall quite as much as I probably should, but I'm by no means a pro. There's a lady in radiology at the hospital. She's a pro. Got to get her on the show. She can teach us some things.
I can't wait until you cut my brake cord as a prank and I die.
That's too far. Were you prankster in high school?
I think I was like Batman.
God.
was molded into one. We had this kind of prank war or something in high school. What happened was, you had your backpack, and I don't know if I was the first victim or what, but I went to the bathroom, came back, my backpack was flipped entirely inside out, and I'm like, what the heck? So I assumed it was one of my friends, and same thing. He went over. He was like doing something on the whiteboard, like you get called to the whiteboard, have to do math or whatever. Got up to his bag,
when
flipped
did
it
you
inside
go to
out.
school in the 1980s?
What?
I've never gotten up in the front of the class to go do a math equation on a whiteboard.
Wait, what?
I've never. We had workbooks. I had never gotten up to go right on the whiteboard and do a math equation.
This was common, like all 4 years.
Boy, I don't know what my tax dollars are going for.
We graduated the same year.
Did we?
Well,
we did. Well, I went to a different school, though. Anyways, back to your point.
I flipped his bag inside out while he was doing work on the board. He came back. He's like, what the heck? It kind of evolved.
That day.
It kind of evolved into a class-wide thing. Then it evolved when I went to Home Depot and bought zip ties.
Oh, my God.
We would flip the bags inside out. I would. And then zip tie it. And then I dispersed some of those zip ties to some of my classmates. And it just kind of spread. Similar to COVID. Airborne. Everyone was doing it.
Listen, I want everyone listening to know this guy Josh, is
I don't like this.
he has this persona that people see him as this nice, wholesome young man who is so respectable, church on Sundays. You know, he eats all his vegetables like a good little boy, but he's bad. He is the prankster, the trickster. I was not in high school or middle school. I was not really a prankster. I can't think of any pranks we really did. Anything worth mentioning. Listen, this guy, gotta watch him.
I gotta tell you, my magnum opus, I haven't. Oh God. I don't know if I should tell this until. Okay, so I lost a bet with the same friend who flipped my bag inside out. It was like something minor, like $5. I decided to pay him back in pennies. So
that's not a prank. That's just a dick move. Hey, that's why we have a coin shortage now. What the heck?
We gotta get rid of pennies. It's the worthless coin.
Listen, it takes 5 cents to make a penny, so figure that one out.
Anyway, listen, it's like I'm just taking advantage of the coins that are already in the system. Freaking took his bag, flipped it inside out, and then I had this other like knapsack full of pennies. Just started pouring them in his bag when he was away. It was the perfect scenario because he got distracted with something. He comes back to go lift his bag, and he's like, "What the heck?"
You're lucky he didn't start beating you with the knapsack of pennies. Just bash you. You come back home and you're bludgeoned with a bag of pennies. Oh yeah, I was a well.
You were good. Listen, you want to paint me as a good, wholesome boy, but I think that's what you want to paint yourself as.
Listen, in school I wasn't like a prankster per se. I was.
Yeah, you were too busy beating people with a baseball bat.
What? I was not a bully either. I was a very nice guy. I got along with everybody. I didn't hang out in like one set group or posse. I was the guy who was with everybody.
I think we got to
politicking.
Listen, I think we got to break the news to our other friend. We'll call him Jay, who thinks that we all went to the same high school.
Oh no! Oh no! Sam was on that too.
Yeah. We have this group Discord, this big group chat. Basically, we convinced one of our colleagues there, like that we all went to the same high school. It's like this sitcom-esque. Oh, I remember Teacher Jay. Yeah, he was a jerk. Yeah, listen, you guys did.
Miss so and so.
Was I in on this? I don't think I was.
Yeah, you were. Get out of here.
No, because I said I went to a certain high school with
maybe
with our colleague T. We'll call him. So anyways, discreet. You guys had them convinced of this narrative that y'all went to the same high school, even though you didn't. I don't even think you didn't even know Sam in high school.
No. But she went along with it, and that's how we met, sophomore year in Miss So-and-so's class. And he's going to listen to this. He's going to listen to this episode. Be like, what? You were lying to me for 2 years? We convinced another nurse at the hospital that Sam was a phlebotomist. And they just conveniently kept missing each other. And then she got laid off during COVID.
There's no malintent. It's just keeping things
fun.
light.
We have fun. I think everyone on our floor, if we weren't there, I feel like they would be miserable. And I don't say that to hype ourselves up, but I think it's nice to have some different personalities and keep things light, especially in this profession, considering burnout is so widespread and it's just you get more and more thrown at you and you're not getting anything on your end. And it's hard because not only are you just doing a job, but you basically have human life in your hands. So there's constant stress.
Of course. Well, this was a little self-indulgent. I'm so hyped.
This is fun. This made me laugh. They'll see my tears on video soon.
I have to put on clothes for that.
You are fully clothed. I have no shirt on.
Oh boy, now this is getting not safe for work. We're gonna have to shut this off.
I have my cliche blanket, headband on. My hair gets too wild. I'm in my Beats lab, my studio.
We're spending $10,000 an episode just to rent the studio.
That's because we're not making any money, so the bill keeps stacking up. Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll keep you updated on our Facebook page. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Just search The Nurse Bros. Our Facebook is facebook.com/The Nurse Bros. Remember to share, like, subscribe. please keep spreading the word. We're definitely building this thing. We want to continue to bring people in.
Quick shout out, I was actually sent some articles by one of our listeners and some really good topics, so we have some interesting discussions coming up. We like to mix it up, lighter episodes, more intense things, many topics in the work. But thanks again for listening.
I'm ready. You guys have a good one. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.